And now we welcome in the coach of the number one ranked Syracuse Orangemen, Jim Boeheim, onto the show. Jim, it's Michael Kay and Don LaGreca. How you doing?
Guys, how are you doing? I couldn't be happier. Why wouldn't I not be? Even me, I have to be happy. When you get to number one, you have to smile and be happy for a couple days, and then I'll be thinking about Clemson and going to Pittsburgh, and I won't be so happy.
Is this surprising you? Did you expect this team to be undefeated on February 5th? Did you think this team was this good?
No chance in the beginning of the year. We have a freshman point guard, a sophomore shooting guard replacing the two guys we had. We had real concern. We liked our guards, but we had real concern that they could play the way they're playing now. We had. I wish I could say I was smart enough to have seen that. I never saw it. I knew our front line would be good, and it is, but I had no idea that we would get the play out of the backcourt that we're getting. Tyler Ennis, makes great decisions like a senior, can score, can pass, defends. Trevor Cooney shoots the ball, lights out, and is a good defender. So that's been the surprise. That's why we're where we are. The only cautionary note is the toughest part of our schedule. We've had a good schedule, a very good schedule, but the toughest part is ahead of us. So we're not exactly jumping for joy yet.
Coach, is it a challenge for you to keep everyone even keel and not let there be stress staying undefeated?
This team has been really good. They go out and play. We really do. They've been consistent. We had a tough opener. I think St. John's, and they're starting to play better now. I think St. John's is a good team. I think, we played in Maui early with Minnesota and Cal and Baylor. They were good teams. We played Villanova. So we played some good teams. But, this team has just kind of gone along, and they get ready. And they go play. They really aren't concerned with being ranked, or we haven't even talked about that. They just they want to get ready for the next game, and I think they're experienced enough and poised enough to know that college basketball is a wide open thing right now. Really good teams lose 3-4 games in a row. It's not a surprise to me, because that's the balance in college basketball. We did it last year. We lost 5 out of our last 6 games last year and went to the Final Four. So, that can happen.
When I was a writer for the Post covering college basketball, I remember I covered a North Carolina-Syracuse game at the Garden. Not at the Garden, at the Carrier Dome. Mm-hmm. And I remember the electricity in that building. I'm not sure if you remember the game I'm talking about, but what was it like, Duke?
I'm afraid it was the Michael Jordan game when they beat us. So yes. I do unfortunately remember. I remember the losses, some of the wins I forget. I would say Saturday night with Duke was the most electric, other than maybe the Patrick Ewing Georgetown game. I thought that one was kind of crazy, but I would say it was pretty close to the same. In the game itself was probably one of the better played big games that I've been in. Duke played really well. We played our best offensive game. Duke, I think, played certainly one of their best offensive games, and it was a great night. It was a great basketball game.
All right, let me ask you an X's and O's question. A lot of people debate this. At the end of the game, you're up by 3.
Yep.
Duke has the ball, and you don't foul, and the guy hits a three-pointer. You go into overtime, and no harm, no foul, because you end up winning in overtime.
Well, we do foul, and what happened was with 7, 8, 10, 9, 12 seconds, we foul. Even 12.
Okay.
When it gets under 5, if it's half court, if they're at half court with the ball, we would foul. When it's full court, we came up and challenged, and I had gotten C.J. Fair's eye, and I said, foul if you see, and he tried to foul. But I probably will foul in that situation again. But I just think we're not a good rebounding foul shooting team. If we foul them right away and they've got 3 or 4 seconds, I'm worried they can make one and get the rebound back. And a friend of mine just saw 2 games in a smaller division where teams did that with 5 seconds to go, and both times they got the rebound, put it back in, and won the game in overtime.
Is that why coaches are reluctant to do it, because it looks so bad if you do blow it that way?
Yeah, I mean, you would feel bad either way.
Right.
If it had been 7 or 8, well, when 12 seconds in the overtime, we fouled because I think you're going to win. But with 5 seconds and you got to go full court, I mean, the guy made a great play. Most guys take 3 or 4 dribbles, they get around half court, and they go up. Suleiman got all the way to the three-point line, and that's not easy to do in 4.9. And we stepped out on him. We made him change course once.
But CJ was trying to foul him?
Yeah, he said I was trying to hit him. I hadn't specifically told him that, and I asked him. I said, "Will you try?" He says, "Yeah." But we normally foul in that situation. We haven't had it this year because we haven't come to the end of the game this year with a 3-point lead. We've always been up by more.
Now, what are you more fearful of, Coach? Are you more fearful of the 4-point play or the problem with the rebounding on the foul shot?
I'm really with the rebounding. And, I've talked to pro coaches. They really don't like the foul.
Yeah, they hate it.
Because with 10 seconds to go, you get the ball half court, you can have 2 or 3 possessions with 10 or 12 seconds. So they don't like the rule. And the other thing is the continuation. Pro guy catches and just starts to turn, and you foul him, and he shoots it. It's 3 shots. So, they hate it. I like it. We have always done it, and since we've been doing it, probably I'd say we've done it 6, 7, 8 times. It's never not where it's worked every time. So I would have felt the worst of all if we had lost the game Saturday, because I really think, in retrospect, we should have fouled. We didn't foul last year at Villanova, and they missed the shot, and then they got the rebound, threw it out, and made a 3 to tie it. So I really think you should foul, unless there's maybe 2 or 3 seconds left. Maybe you don't foul then.